Hello trainers, welcome to another episode of Pokemon Go Battle. So today we have another team that I randomly picked actually. It was kind of sporadic. It's Swampert, Galarian Stunfisk, and Alolan Marowak with Hex, Shadow Bone, and Fire Blast. Now, past two nights I haven't streamed yet. I was watching some other content creators, Twitch streamers, and for the most part ranking around like 11 to 17 is the most I've actually seen, where a lot of the people are actually still using like the meta top, I don't know, 15 maybe 20 Pokemon, at least top 10. Still see like Azumarill leads or Azumarill switches, and who else, you have your Pelipper, your Bastiodon, your defense form Deoxys. So there's still a lot of Pokemon that a lot of trainers are still using. It's considered meta, and I've kind of figured, you know, why not have at least one meta Mon, which is a Galarian Stunfisk, and I felt like with having Mudshot, it does pretty good as far as generating energy really quickly, on top of Swampert with shield pressure, and then the Alolan Marowak for the safe switch at the very end. So without a doubt, I want to jump into these battles because I was very surprised how successful I really was with this team. After I played, you know, maybe like the first set, which I think was a 3-2, the rest of the sets I had for the remaining of the night were 4-1, 4-1, 4-1, and a 5-0 at the very end. So going to be just showcasing you the last two sets, which is the 4-1, 5-0, just utilizing how this team actually worked. And for the most part, the whole idea is to get shield as much as possible from the opponent, so then Alolan Marowak in the back can just go freely and crazy as far as, you know, fire blasting Pokemon and or using Shadow Bone. But depending on the situation, sometimes I may use the Alolan Marowak as the safe switch instead of the Galarian Stunfisk. But for the most part, the Swampert and the Stunfisk did a pretty good job as the two Pokemon bouncing back and forth, utilizing, or at least, you know, trying to get as much shield pressure as possible. So as you can see here, I didn't pay too close to attention, but you know, having a Azumarill and Swampert, it's very easy to kind of bait in the beginning and then go straight Sludge Wave afterwards twice if you could. So here in this case, I switched into Alolan Marowak, and the whole idea is to make sure that the trainer can let go as much energy as possible against our Marowak, so Swampert can come in and just knock out Stunfisk without having to worry about using any shields, or at least having Stunfisk letting go a Rock Slide, or even an EQ, because the the Swampert can generate Hydro Cannon really fast. So jumping into right here with this Hypno, he couldn't charge up to Fire Punch or Thunder Punch. No, without a doubt, he came again to Shadow Ball, knowing how quick Swampert can charge to Hydro Cannon. So GG's there for that match. These matches here, I think, go up to rank 11 if I'm not mistaken. Stream these very quickly. Oh, so this is a lead here that can be a little tough for our team. Having this Pokemon here, Shiftry, it can generate energy really quick. So Leaf Blade can go really quick. Foul Play can cause a lot of damage to Marowak in the back. So don't really have much of a choice other than throwing in Galarian Stunfisk, and usually when there was a Shiftry in the lead, there's usually an Azumarill in the back for the safe swap. So typically what I would do, at least from what I've been experimenting with, is kind of go and quote-unquote bait in the beginning with the Rock Slide to see if they shield, because sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's kind of like 40% they do shield, 60% they don't shield. And then afterwards I would go with an EQ and then Rock Slide. At least with my IVs with this Stunfisk, I can manage to get through a Rock Slide, an EQ, and 2 Rock Slides. And I think I would have to utilize at least 1 shield, maybe 2 if I'm not mistaken. So it still gets a lot of pressure against Azumarill. It's not too bad. It's not necessarily like a counter, but it still has a lot of play. And what I would try to do in this case is switch into Swampert as quickly as I can to generate energy a lot quicker, so I can keep up against the Shiftry. So I'm not paying too far attention here, but as you can see, I caught an Ice Beam with the Azumarill, and now it's a Talonflame in the back. So it's still a little tricky, but we can almost get to, I think we can get to 2 Shadow Bones before it can get to a Brave Bird. Well, actually, I'm a little mistaken there. So we just miss it. I think this Brave Bird does knock us out, and they're so close to another Brave Bird. Now, I think Brave Bird is 3 Incinerates, and to get to Flame Charge, it's 2, if I'm not mistaken. But after that first Brave Bird, they still have to power up a couple more Incinerates, so it's a very slow generating move. It's a 5-turn move, but the energy is really great. But against a Swampert, which we may see in these last 2 sets, but overall, seeing Talonflame in the lead is a huge pressure, or I'm sorry, with Swampert in the lead, it's a huge pressure against Talonflame. Usually, I would say 9 times out of 10 with these 30 to 40 battles I've done so far, they've switched out by the time Swampert gets to Hydro Cannon. So I don't let go Hydro Cannon because I know that they're going to most likely switch. And then in that case, I try to figure out what's really the next plan of action with Galarian Stunfisk. So this team here, it could be a Grass Hole, if not a random like fighter in the back or a psychic user. I quickly switch into Stunfisk here, so I can just farm down energy, and yeah, they actually have a Wish Cache in the back. Very interesting. That's not really a spice pick, but kind of for the team build it is. So I just let go a Rock Slide just to bait to kind of even out on the shields a little bit, and then I let go of an Earthquake. So they're going to try to probably farm down. As far as I recall, they throw their energy right at the ends here. Yep, they did, which is perfect. Let's see. I think in this point we bring in our Marowak because we don't want that to be faced against the Bastiodon. So it is super effective with these Mud Bombs. We can tank 2, I believe, and we'll be alright. And here they go. They switch into Bastiodon, and we switched very quickly into Swampert, building up that energy. I know we can survive a Stone Edge from this health, but it'll be very close still. So I think just to be safe, I shield. Yep. Because I know I can still power up to more, almost 2.5 Hydro Cannons, just so I can pressure the last shield against Wish Cache. And then, yeah, and then Alolan Marowak can win CMP tie, and then it can throw its energy and win the match. So that's a GG's there for this match. So as you can see with Mud Shots, it builds up that energy really quickly between the rock throws and the Hydro Cannons, and then you can see at the very end how Alolan Marowak can just go. What I really experienced with this team, it is kind of weak with Politoed as the lead because it generates energy quicker to the Weather Ball than it is with Swampert. Sometimes having Bastiodon at the close is very hard, depending on how the game is played. We don't really fish out the Bastiodon in the back, and we kind of typically play the Swampert and gFisk core together. Then the Alolan Marowak is going to have a hard time at the very end with Bastiodon. So depending on knowing like the team builds or the team comps that most players or trainers would use, it's kind of best to see if you can fish out that Bastiodon at the end. But without that, you know, you can win most matches, at least to my experience. So just running this team from the past day and a half or so. So again, we have the Azumarill. So this is the point that I was trying to make. First I did the rock throw, and then I'm doing the earthquake, so they haven't shielded both. At this point I believe I do not shield and that's just an ice beam, and I think afterwards I will at least shield once. So I'm just going to go for a rock throw here, and then I would have just enough energy coming up for, let's see, do I shield in this case? It depends on how the match goes. No, so I actually let it go. So then what I do here is bring in Swampert and then farm down as quickly as I can. So Swampert has a lot of energy, and the defense form Deoxys comes in. Have to be careful with Psycho Boost, so I'm just going to respect that, and it's just a Rock Slide. So they're most likely going to be running Rock Slide Thunderbolt. But knowing how, you know, powerful Swampert is, I'm going to shield here again and go to another Hydro Cannon. So What I'll probably do after this is maybe switch to start getting energy with Marowak. And I know I can take at least one rock slide, and I know it won't get to a second one. So here we go. We have the Bastiodon in the back. So this is probably the match maybe that I've lost. As you can see, I'm going to be chipping away as much as I can. I don't know if Fire Blast is better. I'm going to say maybe the Shadow Bones is a little bit more energy efficient. And there we go. And the rock, the Stone Edge here is just going to knock out Swampert, and that's GG's right there. Oh, we just missed it, but still, Defense Form Deoxys is going to knock us out. So that's actually a perfect example right there where Bastiodon at the end is not a very good situation for our team. So moving on to the next match. I had a very, very fun time utilizing this team. We have an Ivysaur Shadow, so it's running Razor Leaf, and once again we have Azumarill as the safe swap. So not too bad. We got to protect our Swampert. Our idea is to win switch here, but if we don't, that is okay. We're going to go with an Earthquake right here. We'll see how this goes. Usually they don't shields. Perfect. And at this point, it's at a double rock slide range. So at this point, they're going to probably match shields if we want to. So I think we do once here just to be pretty... Hopefully we can try to get another shield from them. We want to start, you know, having the opponents use their shields. So we're trying to farm as much as we can just to let go of these rock slides. We'll see if it's going to farm. Or I'm sorry, to use its shields, and it does. And let's see if it's going to utilize its shield one more time. And they do. So perfect. So they have 2 shields gone, and now we can most likely bring in Marowak, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, we bring in Swampert. Okay. So I shield here just in case if it was a Hydro Pump, and they actually switched into the Ivysaur. So this is very, very good for us. We immediately switch into our Marowak, and we can start farming down with some energy. We let go of the Shadow Bone just to start chipping away damage just in case. And this is most likely a Power Whip. The movesets for Ivysaur is very similar to Venusaur. Instead of having Frenzy Plant, it has Power Whip and Sludge Bomb. And I didn't see what was the last Pokemon here. I was just looking at the camera. We have Bastiodon back in the close. So in this case, we are very, very reluctant to have Swampert with all this energy. And I think from this range, we knock it out. It almost does, I think, like 80% damage just from one Hydro Cannon. It's very, very close. And they only have Flamethrower, which is not too bad. So they have Azumarill come in, which is perfect. We want that energy let go onto Azumarill because I think they're very close to an Ice Beam. And we just farm down with Swampert and we win that match. So GG. So a couple of mistakes there from our trainer where they actually, you know, switched way too many times there. So Poliworld as the reward. So yeah, I would like to continue using this team to see how effective it is going into, you know, higher in the ranks. A little behind in PvP battles. I haven't played, you know, a couple days here nor there, but no rush. You know, this season so far is just like Season 6. We get through one whole round of PvP with Great League, Master League, and Ultra League, and then we usually have a special cup, and then they revert back to Great League once again, Ultra League, Master League, and then another special cup, which I think would be Kanto. So not in any rush whatsoever. Last season I was pretty lucky starting Ultra League first and building my web to Legend there. So let's just jump into these battles. We have Skarmory in the lead, which is actually pretty good. It's not too bad. I think for fun, what I did is I tried catching the Sky Attack, which I did here. So they pretty much built energy for nothing. And I want to see what they're going to bring in next. So they're not switching out, which is a good sign for us that they have something possibly weak with Galarian Stunfisk in the back. But they bring in their Machamp, so it's very surprising that they don't switch that much quicker. So we're just going to let this go. No sense of shielding because Machamp's going to keep farming down energy. And just really become a headache with our team. So what I do here is I just bring in a little Marowak just so I can preserve that health on Swampert, and I'm going to let go of that Shadow Bone, and luckily they don't shield, which is great. So now they have the original Stunfisk, which is a ground and electric type, we can at least take on this one Mud Bomb, and then we're going to go with a Shadow Bone right here. So I'm just trying to chip away with damage a little bit. Their defense goes down, which is awesome. And then let's see what happens right here. Then let go another Mud Bomb. So basically what I'm trying to do here is just baking on my Swampert, winning the match. Having 2 shields against this Pokemon and Skarmory is not going to be that much of an issue. They don't even shields there, and then Skarmory at the very end, and that's going to be GG's there, having 2 shields. So that's awesome with this match. So we're going to move on to the next. Not too bad. And so we start getting into some higher ranks. Now we get to rank 10. So Azumarill has a lead. This is actually very, very good. Don't mind if Azumarill is as a lead or as a switch. This team handles Azumarill really, really well no matter what. So first I'm going to fish off with a Hydro Cannon, and they shield. Usually they shield. Usually. I don't know what kind of like percentage I can think of. Maybe 70% of the time maybe they would shield, and then the 30% that they don't. Usually when they don't shield in the beginning, they don't usually shield the second time. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they probably want just to preserve that their shields for other Pokemon they have in the back. So I learned my lesson in this case, because the first time I tried baiting twice with Hydro Cannon, it didn't work whatsoever, and I ended up losing my Swampert. I think it could have been a match that I actually lost, but here we go. Had 2 shields, and I'm going to let go of this Sludge Wave. I believe they shield. Yep, they do. And then I'm just letting go Swampert, just so I can bring in my Stunfisk. I don't want to switch and lose switch advantage in this case. And then they have Hypno in the back. So this is not too bad. We're going to build up to our Shadow Bone here. And I think we can survive a Shadow Ball with this PvP IV Marowak. It's really, really good with its stamina. But it actually has Psy Shock, which is a legacy move. And once I knew that they had Psy Shock, they didn't have, a Shadow Ball at that point. So they concealed the match there, and GG's there for us. That was very, very reluctant. It could have been maybe a tough situation if they had, what's it called? Shadow Ball and instead of Psy Shock. But without doubt, here we go. So this match here, this was a Legend Trainer, and they have Politoed in the beginning. So as you can see, he's charging up to 2 Weather Balls and going to let them go back to back. I'm trying to generate as much energy as I can as well too. What I should have probably done is go keep charging energy until they let go their first Weather Ball, and do the same thing for the second one, just so I can try sneaking in 2 extra Mud Shots to kind of keep up the pace a little bit with Politoed. But what I did here is I wait until they got to their next Weather Ball, and then I try switching into Galarian Stunfisk, because I don't want to lose 2 of my shields for this match. So in this case, they beat me to the punch with the CMP tied to the second Weather Ball. I'm not going to shield because I need to let go of this Politoed as quickly as possible, which they do. So this is perfect for us. So now they bring in a Venusaur. We win switch advantage, so to speak. And we're going to let go of this Rock Slide just to chip some damage. And now we can bring in our Marowak. So this is perfect for Swampert. We're avoiding this Venusaur. We gladly avoided the Politoed, and we're all in hopes for something very, very good in the back, which is a Talonflame, which is very, very good. So I kind of forgot, because this was going so quick, that I actually had enough energy for a Fire Blast in the back. So my idea here was to shield, and then to build up to another Hydro Cannon, and to let go this other Hydro Cannon, so this Talonflame goes down. It knocks out Talonflame in one shot pretty much. I'm not sure if a rank 1 Talonflame would survive a Hydro Cannon, but with a Shadow Swampert and Hydro Cannon, no, it pretty much knocks it out. So they throw this Frenzy Plant here, and I was just so quick and hesitant to throw a move. I could have gone with the Fire Blast, but thank God that the Shadow Bone was just enough to knock out this Venusaur. So we won that match. GG's right there. A very, very close match. We just made sure that we kept on switching and just, letting go as much fast move as possible to get rid of the Politoed, and then to avoid, obviously, that Venusaur. So that was a very, very good match right there. So let's see. what is the next match that we have. I think we have 1 or 2 more matches. I can tell we're very close to the end of this video. And yeah, so hopefully we're going to have much success with this team. Like I said, making sure that Politoed in the lead, that was pretty much the situation that we get into. And then we want to make sure that we fish out that Bastiodon at the close, just so we don't have any headaches with Marowak. So besides that, sometimes Pelipper can be an issue, maybe as a switch or a lead. Most likely we see it as a switch, but for the most part, it can kind of keep up with the Stunfisk and sometimes with the Marowak. Most cases, I usually just keep trying to farm up as much energy and let them make the first move so I can try to sneak in another fast attack and, you know, cross our fingers from there. So here we go. We have Scrafty building up to a power-up punch. And I think in this case, I do shields because I want to see if I can try to force shields upon them. Was just shy of an earthquake. I probably wouldn't survive if I tried going up to an earthquake. And I was hoping I could get to that second rock slide, but it didn't work. So we have our Shadow Dragonite come back in, and they let go of their energy. I shield right there, and even though this is resisted, it still does a lot of damage if they don't shield. And they don't, so now we bring in our Marowak just so we can take on this other Dragon Claw, because I want to still keep Swampert. Sometimes with a little bit of health, Swampert can still do a lot of damage towards the end of the game as much as possible. So here we go, we got a Beedrill, so this is why they're wanting to save that last shields there. And we're just going to build to another Shadow Bone, because I highly doubt I can get to a Fire Blast before they get to a Drill Run. So they let go of this Drill Run here, thank God. And I think I haven't really kept count of how much they have into another Drill Run, but we just have enough energy to let go of this Hydro Cannon. So another little trick I love about this team, I talked about in the very beginning videos when I first started with YouTube with the original Marowak with Fire Spin. I love the principle of trying to save energy onto your fast charging moves with Pokemon. So with all these Pokemon, actually, Swampert, Galarian Stunfisk, and Marowak, you know, having at least some energy stored creates a lot of pressure sometimes towards the end game or even during switches, depending on how you play it out. Sometimes I can't get that situation in, but if I could, I mean, it makes the gameplay a lot easier knowing like you can get to that move with 1 or 2 mud shots when you switch back in. So switched into Galarian Stunfisk up against this Hypno. I don't want to show my Marowak yet, knowing that Fire Blast usually does a lot of damage at the end game. So I just keep building up to a Rock Slide at this point and just see how this goes. Yep, Hypno goes down, and then they have a Defense Form Deoxys. So kind of have to be careful a little bit, but Marowak with Hex and Shadow Bone still has a lot of play with Defense Form Deoxys, especially having 2 shields. So I was just respecting the Rock Slide there and going to let go of this Shadow Bone. And I think at this point here, I think they let go a Psycho Boost, which I was kind of surprised that they did that. I think Thunderbolt would technically be the better play, because now that they lowered their attack, so I shield there just in case it was a Rock Slide or a Thunderbolt. But knowing that it was a Psycho Boost, I don't have to shield, or I didn't have any shields left for the Psycho Boost. So this gives me the opportunity to generate more energy, and knowing that when they shield that they have something weak against fire in the back. Usually it's grass in this case. So very happy that the Fire Blast went through, and oof, that Pokemon couldn't survive right there. So GG's there. That was a 5-0. So there you go, guys. That was the last 2 sets of that night when I was playing with this team. I was doing very well, and I was very happy with just how I randomly picked this team. I didn't really think too hard if it's a ABB line, BBA, ABC kind of team. I was just kind of thinking a little bit what the games and the Pokemon builds that most trainers were using when I was watching the streams a little bit. So That was that, guys. Hopefully you liked the video, and if you haven't yet, I've been usually streaming almost every day or every other day on Twitch. Check me out there. Without a doubt, thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, see you guys later. Peace.